Welcome to Science Skills, the tutorial series by Vodibe and Oz. Vodibe and Oz is an open access publisher for scientific publications founded in Hamburg, Germany in 2020. This episode covers how to add a research paper to a ResearchGate. ResearchGate is one of the largest academic social networks in the world, with well over 20 million registered researchers. It serves as a central hub where scientists share their work, follow colleagues, track citations, and discover new literature. A key advantage of ResearchGate over some other platforms is that it allows authors to deposit not just the bibliographic metadata of a publication, but also the full paper as a downloadable PDF. This means that the researchers can find, read, and download the complete work directly from the platform, which significantly increases visibility and the likelihood of being cited. Having papers listed and accessible on ResearchGate contributes also meaningfully to the Research Interest Score. This score is a platform-specific metric that reflects the reach and reception of scientific work. Papers published with Voliberos are, as a rule, indexed by ResearchGate automatically over time. However, this process can take a while and is controlled entirely by ResearchGate. Voliberos therefore recommends that authors add their papers manually to ResearchGate immediately right after publication. This video shows exactly how to do that, step by step. This is a ResearchGate profile. In this case, the profile of Professor Attila Woibe. This profile shows key academic metrics, including the research interest score, total citations, and the age index, as well as tabs for publications, stats, and co-authors. Is the starting point of adding a new paper. A ResearchGate account is required to follow along. Anyone who does not yet have one will need to register at researchgate.net before proceeding. The red arrows are highlighting two entry points for adding a new paper. The first is the Add New button in the top right corner of the navigation bar. The second is Add Research button on the profile page itself, visible in the area below the profile of tabs. Either one leads to the same workflow. In this example, the Add New button is used. Clicking Add New opens the side panel on the right. This panel lists various types of content that can be added to a ResearchGate profile. Since the paper being added is a published journal article, published research is the correct choice. A second submenu now appears, offering a more specific list of publication formats. For a journal article, the correct selection is Article. The red arrow is pointing to Article at the top of the list. Click on it. ResearchGate now navigates to the Add Research to Your Profile page. The first question is asked is, do you want to add a file? There's a Select and Upload File button for uploading the PDF of the paper and a skip option for those who only want to add bibliographic metadata without a file. Uploading the full text PDF is strongly recommended. A paper with a freely downloadable full text receives significantly more reads and attention on ResearchGate than one listed without a file. Whether uploading a PDF to ResearchGate is legally permitted depends on the individual case and, in particular, on the license under which a paper was published. For papers published with Voliberos, this question is pretty straightforward. All journals published by Voliberos are open access, meaning the full text is freely available to everyone under a Creative Commons license. Uploading the PDF is therefore always permitted for papers from Vodiber and host journals. Before uploading, the PDF of the paper needs to be available locally. This slide shows the journal page of the paper being added. User engaging with the mobile banking apps, a literature review of drivers and consequences, published in the International Journal of Mobile Applications and Technologies by Giebe, Vodiber and Gue. The PDF button is visible on the right side of the page. The red arrow is pointing to the PDF button on the journal page. Click it to open the full-text PDF of the paper. It will either open in the browser or download directly, depending on browser settings. The PDF is now open in the browser's PDF viewer. From here, it can be downloaded directly using the download function of the PDF viewer. The red arrow is pointing to the download button in the top right corner of the PDF viewer. Click it to save the PDF to the local device. Note where the file is saved, as it will need to be located again in the next step. Back on the ResearchGate upload page, the red arrow is pointing to the Select and Upload File button. Click it to open the file picker. A file browser window opens. The red arrow is pointing to the downloaded PDF file. Select it and confirm to begin the upload. The upload page now shows a loading indicator while the file is being processed. No action is needed here. The upload takes only a few seconds. Once the upload is complete, ResearchGate asks how the file should be shared. 3 options appear: add both a public and private file, add only a public file, and add only a private file. The first option, highlighted in blue, uploads the paper as a publicly readable file for all visitors and also saves a private backup copy for the authors and co-authors. The red arrow is pointing to the first option, add both a public and private file. This is the recommended choice for open access papers published with Vodiber and HOS, since all such papers are freely available under a Creative Commons license and may be shared publicly without any restriction. Select this option. The red arrow is now pointing to the checkbox below the file options. The checkbox confirms that the rights to share the file have been verified and that the upload conditions are agreed to. Since the paper at Vodiber and HOS is published open access and the authors hold the right to share it, the box can be checked without hesitation. Check it to activate the upload button. The red arrow is pointing to the now active upload button. Click it to proceed to the next step. After the upload, ResearchGate displays the Your Article form. This is where the key bibliographic information about the paper is entered or confirmed. A notable feature here, because the PDF was uploaded, ResearchGate has already read the file and automatically extracted the title, the authors, and the DOI. In this example, the form already shows publication type article, title, user engagement and mobile banking apps, a literature review of drivers and consequences, authors, Carsten Dieme, Attila Voliebe, Marcel Gue, date, preferred with today's date, which needs to be corrected, by the way, and the BOI. This automatic extraction saves a significant amount of manual work. However, it is very important to review every field carefully and correct anything that was read incorrectly. The red arrows are pointing to the fields that need particular attention: the author section, the date field, and the DOI field, as well as the continue button at the bottom. First, check the authors. ResearchGate lists them by first name followed by last name, and they should appear in the correct order matching the publication. If any name is missing or misspelled, it can be corrected here. Second, the date. ResearchGate has pre-filled today's date, which is not the actual publication date of the paper. This must be corrected. The correct publication date is found on the original journal page. Third, the DOI. If the PDF extraction has correctly read it, the DOI field should already contain the right value. Verify it against the published paper to be sure. This is the original journal page for the paper. It shows all the authoritative bibliographic information needed to complete and verify the form, including the exact publication date, the issue, and the DOI. The red arrow is pointing to the published date on the journal page, 2025-7/11. This is the date that should be entered to the date field of ResearchGate, not today's date. Go back to the form and set the date to July 11, 2025. With all fields reviewed and corrected, the red arrow is pointing to the Continue button at the bottom of the form. Click it to proceed to the next step where additional details can be added. ResearchGate now displays the Add Details page. This step is optional but highly recommended. It makes the paper significantly more discoverable. The following fields are available: abstract, a peer review confirmation, journal name, volume, issue, and page. The abstract has been automatically extracted from the PDF and is already filled in. Scroll through it and briefly confirm that it looks correct. The first red arrow is pointing to the abstract field, which has been populated automatically. The second arrow is pointing to the peer review question. Has this been peer reviewed? The option, yes, it has already been peer reviewed, is pre-selected. This is correct for papers published in the journals of Vordiventors, all of which go through a rigorous peer review process before publication. The red arrow is now pointing to the journal name drop-down field. Click into it and begin typing the journal name. ResearchGate will search its database and suggest matching journals. An important note here: ResearchGate lists a very large number of journals from across all disciplines. Many journals have names that are similar to one another, sometimes differing by only a single word. It is therefore essential to select the correct journal from the drop-down with care and to verify the selection against the official journal name and, where shown, the ISSN. Choosing the room journal would link the paper to an incorrect publication record on ResearchGate. Before entering the journal name, it is helpful to open the journal's own page to confirm the exact official name. This slide shows the About Journal page of the International Journal of Mobile Applications and Technologies. The full official name is displayed at the top, along with the ISSN and other details. This is the name to use. The red arrow on the journal's website is pointing to the navigation bar. The full journal name is confirmed here as International Journal of Mobile Applications and Technologies. Furthermore, you can see another red arrow pointing to the ISSN number. This ISSN number is unique for the journal. Back in the ResearchGate form, typing International Journal of Mobile Applications into the journal name field causes a drop-down of matching journals to appear. The first result is International Journal of Mobile Applications and Technologies, ISSN 29445671, which is exactly the right journal. You can now click on that entry to select it. The ISSN displayed in the dropdown is an additional information that the correct journal has been found. The journal name is now filled in, showing the full name, including the ISSN. Now it's time to enter information about volume and issue. The three red arrows are pointing to the volume, issue, and page fields. These three information are optional to complete the bibliographic record. These information can be found on the journal's page. For Vaude-Vendross, please note that the publisher does not use page numbers for the articles published. Therefore, it is only required to enter the volume and the issue number. The red arrows on the journal page are pointing to two locations where the volume and the issue information is clearly visible: the breadcrumb navigation and the volume issue label. The volume is 1 and the issue is 2. Volume 1 has been entered in the volume field. Now you can move to the issue field. Again, this information can be found on the journal page. Issue 2 is the correct entry for this paper. The form now shows Volume 1 and Issue 2. The red arrow is pointing to the Add button. Once this is clicked, the entry is finalized and the paper will be published to the ResearchGate profile. Click Add. The paper is now visible on ResearchGate as a full article entry. The detail page shows the title, the journal, the DOI, the license, the authors, and the abstract. On the right side, ResearchGate already displays initial engagement metrics, a research interest score, citation count, recommendation count, and the number of reads. The full text is marked as available, meaning any visitor to the page can download the PDF directly. And that completes the process. The paper is now publicly listed on ResearchGate with the full text available for download, which is one of the most effective ways to maximize the reach and impact of a scientific publication. If this video was helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with new episodes from the Science Skills series. Vaude-Vendross is an open access publisher founded in 2020 in Hamburg, Germany. The published journals cover a broad range of academic disciplines, from business, coaching and organizational development to digital health, mobile applications, retail, and sustainability. All papers are published under a Creative Commons license and are freely accessible to readers worldwide. For anyone interested in publishing their own research, Vaude-Vendross offers a wide selection of open access journals across these fields. Publication opportunities and further information are available on www.wr-publishing.org.